Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Trevor Johnson, and this week I'll be going over the practice routine that I intend on submitting myself to. Now, I'd first like to give a huge shout out to Curtis Cronin. He did the graphic design and the logo for the project that I've entitled Whole Step 1. I'm including his website in the description if you'd like to go check that out. As far as the name is concerned, I intentionally decided to spend as little as time as possible. Normally I try to be super clever, and usually it turns out bad. So I just picked something and went with it. A buddy of mine suggested 1 and then step 1, and I was like, well, it needs to be musical, and I was like, well, there's such a thing as a whole step, so whole step 1. And that's it. I plan on incorporating the graphic design more thoroughly throughout, but I'm still kind of a baby at video production, so hopefully that'll get better as time goes on. But without further ado, let's check out this practice routine. Alright, here we go.
So as you can see here, it starts with a daily routine of exercises. You might think of this as the treadmill that people start before they get into heavy lifting, except that most of my objective and measurable success will happen in this phase of the training. More on that in a bit. For now, let's jump into the next section, the daily plans. So I've got different activities lined up for each day.
Hey, real quick, now I did just want to point out that these are general guidelines. I will absolutely, without fail, hold myself to the Monday through Saturday daily guitar exercises. But I will allow cool opportunities or collaborations or just better ideas to usurp this plan. But I did want to have a structure, so here it is.
Alright, so Monday. It always feels good to learn a song, especially if it's something that's outside of what you're typically comfortable with. You know, whether it's a genre you don't typically play or it's simply technically challenging. That's what Monday is all about. Picking a song that I think could be beneficial and learning it. In some cases, this might take more than a week, but so be it. Tuesday. This is Technique Tuesday. This is all about focusing on a technique that I'm generally poor at and focusing on that technique until I've become at least proficient. In fact, this is the only day of the week that adds to the daily workout exercises that I was talking about before. And that's so I can work through the technique and develop it and get better at it. This week I'm working on tremolo picking chords, basically strumming chords really fast. Next we have Work Wednesday.
So recently I started working at Orangewell Studios. It's starting out as just, me doing some guitar lessons and the odd studio recording, but there's a ton of potential there, and I'm hoping it'll help me develop as a guitar player and a teacher, and hopefully help me down the path to becoming a full-time musician. But let's get back to the list.
So basically me working at the studio is my training for Wednesday. Sometimes there are recording projects to work on, and sometimes I just use it as extra practice time. Moving on, we've got Theory Thursday.
So obviously I tried the alliteration thing, Technique Tuesday, Theory Thursday, but couldn't get them all to work. I regret that.
This day is all about trying to improve my woeful knowledge of music theory. I'll be trying to improve my non-existent sight reading skills, and this might also feature some ear training exercises. Oh, and in addition, I'll be learning at least one new chord per week.
Maybe I'll write some silly music, and I'll have some crummy art design, and I'll have me a brand new segment. Chord of the week. That's beautiful.
Fun Friday. This is where I'll probably create the interesting musical content for the video. Maybe it'll just be me spazzing out over some backing track or old forgotten song aimlessly lying about on my backup hard drives. Or maybe it'll just be me actually working on something for my album. But either way, this day is going to be about me just having fun with music. And then there's Saturday. This could also be called release day. I imagine I'll spend a good part of it, putting the footage together, finalizing the video, and uploading it to YouTube. These things take way more time when you're a complete novice, but hopefully I can grow with this as well and actually start posting up some nice content for everybody. As you can see, I'd like to keep myself to a strict 8 p.m. deadline at the latest for Saturday. And lastly, I've got Social Media Sunday. I mean, I don't even really know what an Insta Snap tweet is. But if I'm going to grow this channel, I should probably put at least a little time into helping spread the word. Probably most realistically, though, this will be the time for me to plan for the next video and simply not play guitar.
Now, it might seem silly to have a day where I'm not picking up the guitar at all, but I think it's probably the only way to keep me from burning out. But real quick, let's check out those daily exercises I was talking about before.
And here we have the practice log and the 7 primary daily exercises. I'll go into a lot more detail next week when you're actually watching me struggle with these basic exercises. But primarily, these represent the fundamental building blocks of improving my technique. I'll be spending roughly 10 minutes with each technique while practicing to a metronome. I'll record each day's maximum BPM, which stands for beats per minute. It's just basically how fast the click is.
Now, I'm not going to be headhunting BPM or anything. The goal here is accuracy and precision over speed. So even though it might make me a little sad a little bit, I'm expecting to slide back some days from time to time.
So I'll record the max BPM I reach for each exercise each day, and by the end of the week, I'll have an average. Once I have more than 1 week of data, I'll start calculating my rate of average improvement from week to week. And then here's a little spot for my notes.
So yeah, the daily practice log is sort of like video game stats. You watch the numbers go up, and that sort of becomes its own motivation. If I stick to this routine, I am looking at a minimum of 12 hours a week doing nothing but guitar. And that's not including any of the video editing or anything like that. And that's a huge commitment for me. And I got to be honest with you, I've never been more excited to commit to something in my whole life. And I'm typically somebody that's afraid of commitment. So anyway, that's the plan. Next week will feature a lot of me playing guitar, struggling with these exercises, recording those numbers, and just straight up grinding, son. Ooh, yeah! Sorry, I don't know where that came from. But hopefully there'll be some more music too. And lastly, but not the last thing from leastly? It's because I'm fat. Saving the most important thing for fat. Saving the most important thing for last. I just really want to thank everyone that watched my video, and especially everyone that subscribed. It's because of you guys that I'm even capable of making this commitment. Honestly, so many things have come up this week alone that normally would have, given me the excuse to not make this video or not have it up on time. But because of you guys, it's really allowed me to persevere and push through that. So I really, really appreciate you guys. And until next week, peace.